Okay, welcome to my box opening of the tri-pack Battles of the American Revolution by GMT Games. Mark Michaelis, game designer. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Mark. I apologize if I don't. Guilford, Saratoga, and Brandywine. These are the first 3 games of this series. And GMT Games decided to make a tri-pack so that you can buy them, which is really, really nice. Big fan of that. Now, I'm trying to get more American Revolutionary games because I have a keen little interest in that. And that started when I first started playing this game right here, 1776 by Avalon Hill. This particular one I played in my 20s, which is, you know, late 70s, early 80s. So it was definitely an enjoyable game. But that has overall tactics of the American Revolutionary War. It doesn't go specific battles. I mean, it does have a couple scenarios in that do deal with specific battles, but these games all have a battle: Guilford Springs, Saratoga, and Brandywine. So let's open this up and see what comes inside this huge, huge box. I mean, this thing is 3 inches thick, I guess is what they were saying. On the back here, it's medium complexity, high solitaire suitability, which is a 7, so that's pretty nice. Unit regimens is the size of the units, 200 yards per hex, and time 1 hour per turn. Made for 2-player, but can be played solitaire, which is what I'm liking here. It has a little description on each of the battles that you're going to play here, and some of the units that are in the game. So let's open up this box, and like you can hear that this thing's just really, really heavy box. So this thing is really full, and you can see as soon as I get this off that it is absolutely full to the brim all the way up to the top. And so all these games have a series rule book. The series rule book covers all of the moves or the rules that pertain to all of the games in the series. And this is a colored series rule book. This is June 2017. Now I go online and I look at the living rules that are online at the GMT Games website, and read those, because those will always be the current set of rules. But you know, this has the components, gives some terminology, sequence of play, how to win most games, stacking, zone of control, initiative, movement, rifle fire. So all of these cover the basics: close combat, defensive artillery fire. All these games will have some of this or all of this in each of the games. So once you read through this, you can pretty much play any of the games. All that's required is just a little bit more reading on the game specific rules. So tactical cards here, combat results, retreats, leaders. So it has a lot of good information here, and a tactical matrix, close combat, and expanded sequence of play. So again, these are the rules that pertain to all 3 of these games in this box and all the games in this series, which I think it's up to 9 or 10 now. So first thing here, we got the Saratoga. These are the exclusive rule books for this game only. So this deals with you know, preparation of play on the campaign, how to win in this particular game, special rules, especially dealing with the various commanders. And it has a variant here, victory conditions, Saratoga next day. So this is a scenario right here. So yeah, you're only looking at 4 pages of rules here for the Saratoga. Gives you the victory, and then special rules here. Then Freeman's Farm scenario. So there's another historical scenario that you can play. So there's 2 games on this one by itself. And the nice thing about it is with the tactical cards that each game is different. With dice roll, each game is different. So all the games have a pretty good replayability. But the thing I really like is that each of these games has the history account of the battles and things that led up to it and the battle itself. And so you learn a little bit about history about the American Revolutionary War, which, you know, everybody should know a little bit about. Here are our counters front and back. And next day scenario here. So Not sure exactly what that is because I haven't read that book, so I can't tell you. But again, rule book on Brandywine. All of them are color printing. Same type of stuff as in this one. It gives you the special victory conditions. Here's Washington is in this one. Lafayette. Brandywine Creek Intelligent Variant. So again, it gives you the scenarios and the games. And it looks like we have a couple here too, a couple different scenarios. All the counters. Worksheet, Hal's worksheet. And Guilford Courthouse in Utah Springs is our last one here. Now Utah Springs, everybody says to start out with this one because this has the least number of units in it, so it makes it easy for a beginner to do. So I will probably start out with that one and share that experience with you guys. So again, Guilford's Courthouse, and we have Order of Battle here. And then we go to Utah Springs and talks about the special rules for Utah Springs. And then all the pieces, Order of Battle. And then we get to the history part of the game. So you can see the history part covers a number of pages. I mean, this is 10 pages of rules. Well, actually 10 pages including the scenario. The scenarios. This has 9 pages of rules. So not a lot of reading for each game once you have the core rule book done. This here, let's see what we have here. Get these up so I can grab onto them. So this is a record matrix, Brandywine Creek, Muddy in the Waters of Brandywine Creek. So I'm not sure exactly what these are. These look like matrix and modified die rolls. So I would have to see what these pertain. These don't look like the player cards themselves. They're not. So here's Saratoga player aid cards. So we have 2 of them. And each player's age card is exactly the same. You can see that front and back are exactly the same. And you have the terrain effects chart, you have the tactical matrix, close combat table, leader, casualty summary, rifle fire. So you have a lot of the things that you're going to be using each turn in the game on these cards for each player. Brandywine has the same thing, has player cards here, front and back. Show them both to you at the same time. And these are really solid cardboard. These are pretty nice. Nicely done, well printed. And Guilford and Utah Springs here. Front and back of those. And then here we have replacement counters. So these are all the counters for Savannah, Germantown, Pensacola. So each one of them has some replacement counters that were either printed wrong or just not right. So they've done them here, and these shows you what the counters are and where they go and what pieces they replace. And this is that particular one here, and this has all the counters, and they're even labeled here. But if they get punched out of here, that's really some smart thing, because if they get knocked out of here, you can use this to figure out where they're supposed to go. But yeah, and these kind of a thin cardboard here. It's not a real thick cardboard on these, but I guess it has to match like the earlier games. Maybe the earlier games had thinner cardboard. I don't know. So now we got Guilford Courthouse and Utah Springs, and these are the counters for that. And that's a little bit thicker cardboard. They punch out. They're really well cut. I mean, these punch out. One of them, if I put my finger through it wrong, they just pop out right away. Saratoga, here's the front side of that, and we have all of our generals and commanders of the different forces here that are in that particular. Oh, see, I almost pushed that out there. So the back sides of all of these, and here's Brandywine, the front side of that, and this one seems like it has a lot of people, a lot of counters there. So yeah, this looks like they all have 2 steps. A lot of them have 1 step. So yes, that could be an interesting battle there. And the thing that really shocked me, and I have opened this up before and looked at it because I took the bags off of these, but these are mounted boards, which is really, I was kind of surprised at that. Now I'm not going to open up the whole thing. I will open up as I play the game and show you. But these are really nicely done. I mean, just beautiful artwork on them, well printed. They sort of have a texture on them. They don't have a gloss to them, as you can see. The light's not really reflecting too much there. This is the one for the Saratoga game. And let's see the back side here. This is the Brandywine. And you can see that, you know, we have different terrain. I mean, if you look at the back here, Brandywine, oops, sorry, hit the camera there. And you look at Saratoga, you see that much more in the way of woods here. So that's going to limit your line of sight and your ability to get around, except for by roads here. And this one here, you got a much greater field of view and travel across this particular terrain. So this one here, and all of the maps also have the Army morale track and the game turn record, and then captured units, eliminated units that you put up there, so that you know what goes where. And this one is Guilford, maybe? Not sure. I can try and get this open so that I don't. Yes, Guilford Courthouse. And this looks like it might be fall, maybe. Not sure exactly when that battle happens. I will learn that when I read about the battles. So this one here is more of a green. It's Utah Springs. So this has more of a green open area, some wooded, heavy wooded, light wooded. And all of your terrain is right up here. And you do have terrain effects charts on all the players' aids. All right, so we have our tactical assault cards here. So you pick the card that you want to attack with, and the other player picks it, and then you cross index and see if you get a plus or minus on your attack. Plenty of bags to put everything in. I won't be using these bags, but plenty of them. Got blue dice and red dice. I would imagine American and British for the dice, 10-sided dice here. And the reason, I'll probably be taking this out, but the reason I won't be using this is I've actually made some game counters that game counter holders that will be used, that will take the place of these things, and I think that once I get all of the pieces punched out and then remove this and put these down, that these equal out so I can put everything back in this box. But yeah, so this will be the generic game counters for all of the particular ones, and these will be, this one here is for Brandywine, and this one's for Saratoga. And let me see. So this will slide out, and all of my pieces will go in there, and that will keep them. And I'm working on the one for Guilford Springs right now. I don't know if you can hear my 3D printer, but it's back there working away to create some of these. So they work pretty nice. I like the way that those hold all the pieces. But you can just get any type of holder you want, or just use the bags. It would be just as easy too. So put this all back, and let me try and get these out of here without damaging them. There we go. So again, I think that this is really just a super value as far as, you know, if you're looking for games to get, especially getting started in this series, this is a great way to start. You start out with the first three packs here, and they're all in one, and you go from there. Now I'm going to try and get all of the series. Of course, it's not easy because a lot of them are out of print too. So I've been trying to find used ones and some new ones if I can find them, if they aren't too crazily priced. But I am looking forward to completing this series and playing all of these games. So hopefully, if you want to follow along, please do subscribe. That really helps out the channel. And I hope you'll be around for the next one. Thank you for watching this box opening of the Tri-Pack Battles of the American Revolution. Take care.